Okay students, so let's start our discussion with receipt and payment account. So this is the format of receipt and payment account. See how it will look like. It's a normal account, T format account. We have debit side, receipts and payments on the credit side. On the top we have to give the heading receipt and payment account for the year ended. Okay, now as you can see it is very similar to the cash book. In cash book also what we did, receipt on the debit side and payments on the credit side. So this is very much similar to the cash book. In cash book we had two column, cash and bank column. Here we are doing combined, so cash and bank transaction will be combined here. So let's discuss the format here. On the debit side, very first item you have the opening balance. So two balance brought down, that is opening balance. There you can see cash in hand and cash at bank. Both the balances we will write here as a opening balances. Now receipt, these are the various receipt. We are going to discuss each item one by one. I will try to explain you the meaning also and why it is a receipt. And here we are having some payments. As I told, the all payments are of expenses and other payments like other business the organization has. And at the end we will have balance CD, that is closing balance. So closing balance of cash in hand and cash and bank, so that we will have as a closing balance. So now let's start. Anything which result into the inflow of cash means when you get the money comes in our business, that becomes our receipt. And anything which needs or which result in outflow of the cash or money go from our bank account, so that becomes our payments. So now on receipt side, let us discuss quickly. First opening balance, after that two subscription. Subscription is the membership fees that a club receive or a organization, not for profit organization receive from its member. Now you can see here for previous year, for current year and for next year, there are three items given and the amount in inside column and the total is in outer column. So understand, this is very important concept. So when you receive subscription from your members, so for previous year, for current year and for next year, so first focus on for the current year, that is understood. For the current year means what? For the year for which we are preparing the receipt and payment and income and expenditure account and balance sheet, that is our current year. So say for example our current year is 2019-20. So 2019-20 is your current year. So subscription you will receive for the current year, that is for the year 2019-20. Now what is for previous year? For previous year means what? Last year if someone has not paid and their membership fees or subscription was outstanding at the end of last year, so they will pay this year. So now they are paying here, they are paying in this current year, but it is for the previous year. So that is why it is written here for previous year. Then for next year. For next year means what? If this is the current year 2019-20 and if some members paying you the advance for the next year, they are paying you now, so that is for the next year. So money is received in this year, but they have bifurcated for the previous year, for the current year and for the next year. We will have to deal with this very carefully when we prepare income and expenditure account, because as our accrual concept says, income and expense of the current year will be recorded as a income and expense. So that income and expenditure account we have to deal with this subscription in a very proper way. But here we are preparing receipt and payment account. So this is nothing but a summary of cash book. So here whatever is received, you will just add and write down the total in outer column. Here you don't have to think much about it, that how much was the last year, how much is the current year, and what is the next year, what is the for the next year. So you have to add whatever is received, because this receipt and payment account is on the basis of cash basis. Whatever you have received, you have to record it as a receipt. So whatever is received, let it be for the previous year or current year or for the next year, you will record everything, do the total, write the amount in inside column and total in outer column. After subscription, we have general donation to general donation. So when we receive donation from anybody, so that is a receipt. You will get the money, inflow of the cash. That is why it is receipt. Then we have specific donation. So what is the difference between general donation and specific donation? General donation means a donation is received, then organization is free to use the money for any purpose. Whatever purpose they can use. The donor has just given the money and not specified any purpose. So that is general donation. Specific donation is donation received for a specific purpose. Means, say for example, the organization has to build a building. They are announcing that we have to construct a building. So please donate us the money for this building or for some other purpose. So the purpose is known here. So the specific donation is given by the persons specifically for that purpose. So the donor will tell this amount is for the construction of building or for any specified purpose. So that is called specific donation. So why these are two separate, that we will discuss when we prepare income and expenditure account. These two, specific and general, will be dealt with in a separate manner. But here in receipt and payment account, both are our receipts. So we will record in receipt side whether it is a specific or general donation. Then next you have grant for specific purpose. Again here, when you receive grant for from government or from any other body, so grant is also like a donation only, so it is a receipt. So here also grant for specific purpose, and we will have general grant also. Let's see, I will tell you. Grant for specific purpose, then we have general grant also. So general grant, both the grants are receipts, but they will be dealt with separately when we prepare income and expenditure account. But here in receipt and payment account, both are our receipt, so that will be recorded here in receipt side. Then you have entrance or admission fees. Entrance fees or admission fees, both are your receipt. When the person enters into the organization, he may have to pay some entrance fee or admission fee. So that is a receipt for the organization. Then you have sale of newspaper or grass, etc. Sale of old newspaper, we call it pasti or scrap. So whenever we sell this, whatever amount we get, that is a receipt. Then sale of old or used sports material. So if there is a sports club, so they may have old material, used material, and if they sell it, whatever amount they get, that is a receipt. So that will also come in receipt side. Then interest on investment, very important, interest on investment. So organization, if they have money, they may invest it into the share of any company or debenture or in any other government securities. So on that investment, they receive interest. So when they receive interest, that becomes receipt. Then dividend. Yes, if the organization has invested into the share of any other company, so that company will give the dividend, and the organization will receive the dividend. So that dividend will become receipt. To rent received. Yes, rent received and rent paid. In expenses, I show you if there is, see, in payment, rent is given by rent, and here in receipt also rent received. So there is a difference between rent received and payment rent. So payment rent means what? If you have taken the premises, organization has taken the premises on rent, and on which you are paying the rent, so that becomes our expenses, so that is why it is in payment. So that is, rent is in payment side. Here in receipt side, rent received means the premise of the organization. If the organization is having some extra premise or extra space, and the space is given on rent, and the rent is received, so that becomes the receipt. Many organizations give their hall for marriages or grounds for any events on rent, and on which they receive the rent, so that rent is a receipt for the non-profit organization. Then again, interest received. So if the money is kept into the bank or FD, on which the interest is received by the NPO, so that becomes the receipt. Then miscellaneous receipt, receipt through any other purpose, any other form, so that becomes the receipt. Life membership fees. So there is a difference between normal membership fees and life membership fees. Normal membership fees, we call it as a subscription. Here it is life membership fees. Life membership fees is what a member is paying the fee, lump sum, a big amount, to become the lifetime member. So this, again, there is a difference between normal membership fees and life membership fees, but that difference we will discuss for preparing income and expenditure account and balance sheet. But here the life membership fees, again, it is a receipt. We are getting the money, so that becomes our receipt. Then next is subscription for specific purpose. Again, this is a subscription, means it is the amount received from a member in the form of subscription for some specific purpose. So again, it is a receipt. Then legacies, general and legacies specific. So first of all, legacies. What are the legacies? Legacies in general, the meaning of legacies is, say some person is giving some amount as part of his will to the organization. So after the death of a person, if the organization is getting some amount or some property as part of the will of the deceased person, so that is called legacies. And now legacies can be general or specific. If it is a general, so the organization can use it for any purpose. If it is a specific, so that amount of legacies can be used for that purpose only. Then you have endowment fund. It is also a fund created, so for that the members pay the money, so that becomes our receipt. Then sale of fixed asset. So now fixed asset are machinery, furniture. If the firm is having, if the organization is having such kind of fixed asset, and the asset gets old or they are no more useful, so they may sell the asset. So on the base, on that sale of fixed asset, whatever amount is received, so that sale amount is become the receipt. I am not talking about profit or loss on sale, that will be discussed later. Here whatever is the amount you received by selling the asset. So say for example, asset can be of 1 lakh, on which, say for example, depreciation is provided 40,000. So the book value of the asset is 60,000. Now if I sell the asset for 40,000, so the book value was 60,000, selling the asset for 40,000, there is a loss of 20,000. But we are not recording the loss here in receipt and payment account. What we will record here, we will record whatever amount we received by selling that asset. So sale of fixed asset, the amount will be 40,000. Similarly, if the asset is sold for 70,000, in that case the book value is 60,000, sold for 70,000, so there is a profit of 10,000. But here in the receipt and payment account, we will not record profit or loss. We will record for what amount the asset is sold. So the asset is sold for 70,000, so the value will be, sale of fixed asset will be 70,000. Next is to receipt on account of specific fund, that is match fund, prize fund, etc. Okay, so for any specific purpose, say for example, if an organization want to build a pavilion, so they may create a fund and request the member to pay amount for this specific purpose. So for that purpose, so they are creating a fund for say for example, pavilion fund. So for building the pavilion, they are requesting their member to pay the money. So if the members are depositing the money for in that fund, so this will again become the receipt for this fund. Now how this fund work? Say they have given the example match fund, prize fund. So say for example match fund, so that fund is created for some match or some for some tournament. So they open the fund, they create a fund, and then they request everybody, to the member and to general public also, to deposit the money whatever they can in that fund. So they receive the money, so that's why we record it in the receipt side. So how this fund will become stronger when the member deposit the money, so they get the money, they keep getting the money into that fund, so that fund become more stronger, so they get money. And when they get the money in that fund, after that money, when the money is adequate money, they will utilize that money for that purpose. So the now match fund, say for example they have created a match fund and they have got the money, say for example from all the members and public, they got 1 lakh rupees as a match fund. So they will keep the money in that match fund, 1 lakh, and then the match actually happens. When they conduct the match, all the expenses of the match will be paid from this match fund. So that is why this fund is created. So this kind of specific funds are created for any specific purpose. So receipt in that fund, so any receipt for that fund will become again our receipt. So that also will be recorded in receipt side. Then they have balance CD, that is bank overdraft. So opening balance is on the debit side. Normally credit side we have the closing balance, but as in cash book, if the payments are more than the receipt, we may have closing balance as balance CD, and that can be balance bank overdraft only, because cash cannot have a negative balance. So when it can be possible that payments are more than receipt, only in the case when you have taken bank overdraft, because cash cannot be negative. So bank balance can be negative. So in the question, if your payments are more than the receipts, you will have a closing balance like this. So to balance CD, that is bank overdraft. So we have discussed here on the receipt side, we have discussed here all the receipt. Payments we will discuss in the next video. Okay. Okay, now on payment side we have various items. Let's have a discussion on that. Okay, so very first item on the payment side is by balance brought down. So normally we have a balance, opening balance on the debit side, cash in hand and cash at bank. But if there is a bank overdraft, we will have it on the credit side. So credit side balance means bank overdraft. Cash balance can never be on the credit side. Cash balance it will always be on the debit side. So if the credit side balance is given, so that is bank overdraft. Then there are items which are payments. So let's see, we have by salaries. So salary an organization pay to its employees, so it is a payment. Next, rent. Rent is when you have taken the premises on rent or anything on rent on which the rent is paid by the organization, so the rent is your payment. After that we have postage expenses, again payment. Advertisement expenses is also payment. So advertisement can be given by the organization for promoting various activities to spread awareness like polio or any other program. So any advertisement is given by the organization for spreading awareness, so that advertisement expenses is also payment. Next is newspaper and magazines. So in the non-profit organization, they purchase so many type of newspapers and magazines so that their members can take the benefit of it. So newspaper and magazines are expenses, so that's why they are payment. Next is repairs, any repairs made Just like any other business, repairs is also expense, so it is a payment for the NPO. Then audit fee. Audit fee is the fees paid to the chartered accountants for auditing the accounts of the NPO. So that is why it is also payment. Next is maintenance expenses. Just like repairs, any maintenance of the electricity work or any other maintenance expenses is your payment. Then insurance. So insurance is insurance premium paid. Insurance is paid for the premises of the organization or any asset of the organization. For that, if any insurance premium is paid, so that insurance premium is your payment. Next is honorarium. So honorarium is just like salary, but it is paid to some person who are not a regular employee, but they are giving their voluntary services to the organization. For that, any remuneration is paid. It is called as a honorarium. So that is also payment. Next is municipal taxes. We know the taxes paid to the municipality is your payment. Next is prizes distributed. So if the not-for-profit organization arranges any event or they distribute any prizes, so that prizes are also payment. Next, office expenses, we know. Then we have expenses on show. So any show is organized, so on that show the expenses are paid, so that are also payment. Next is miscellaneous payments. So miscellaneous payment are also payment. Next is purchase of fixed asset. Any fixed asset is purchased, so it is a outflow, so that's why it is a payment. So whatever amount is paid for purchase of any fixed asset, say for example furniture, machinery, building, so that is the payment. Here on the receipt side we have seen the third last item, sale of fixed asset. So when you sell any asset, whatever amount you get, that amount is your receipt, that is classified under the head receipt. Here we are looking at payment. So on payment side, when you purchase any asset, whatever amount is paid, so that amount is classified as a payment. So here it is by purchase of fixed asset. After that it is written by sports equipment, by investment, by books. So what are these items? These all items are purchase of asset only. So sports equipment is also asset, investment also asset, books is also asset. So it is written on the credit side of receipt and payment account as by sports equipment, by investment, by books. So if you see the journal entry, this is your cash and bank account. Receipt and payment account is cash and bank combined account. So in cash and bank account, it is on the credit side written by sports equipment, by investment, by book. So what will be the journal entry? So the journal entry will be sports equipment account debit to cash and bank, investment account debit to cash and bank, books account debit to cash and bank account. So that's why the assets are debited and this cash and bank account is credited here. That's why we are purchasing the asset. So by sports equipment written on the credit side, that means we have purchased the sports equipment. By investment written on the credit side, that means we have made investment. By books written on the credit side of receipt and payment account means we have purchased the books. So that is why these are the payments we have made for purchasing these assets. Then by loan repayment. So when you repay the loan, it is not given on the receipt side, but if the loan is taken, when the loan is taken, there is an inflow of cash, so that will come in the receipt side. Now here on the payment side, the same loan is repaid or any installment of the loan is repaid, so that repayment of the loan becomes your payment. So that will be on the payment side. Now again by building means what? We have purchased the building. So when the building is purchased, so whatever amount is paid, that becomes your payment. So by building, it is on the credit side, so that is the payment for purchase of building. Now closing balance. So opening balance on the debit side, cash in hand, cash at bank, to balance BD. Similarly, we have the closing balance at the end by balance CD, that is again cash in hand and cash at bank. So this is the overall format of your receipt and payment account. If I summarize it, on the receipt side we have all the item which will result in the inflow of cash and bank, and on the payment side we have all the items which will result in outflow of cash and bank. So this is the format of receipt and payment account. I am sending the pic also of this format. Please go through the format very carefully. On the basis of that, now we will start solving the questions on receipt and payment account.